Most people have a bucket list, destinations they want to travel to, and adventures they want to experience. However, we just don't think it's realistic for someone in our position to check much off of that list until we someday retire at age 65. Until that day, we resort to staring at a screen in our hand, envious of the select few who have seemed to figure out a way to turn their bucket list into stories that they will tell for years to come. Sure, we might do something here or there to show people on social media that we are living our best life, but the reality for most of us is that life isn't what we expected it to be, even though we did everything we were told to do. Over time, we start to believe that this is just how life is. We get stuck in the daily grind and end up settling for living our life on the weekends. We look around us and we see that most people have to wait until they've worked their whole life and retired before doing what they really want to do. So we somehow conclude that that has to be our reality too. Isn't it crazy that we're willing to spend our most vibrant years selling our time to the highest bidder, called an employer, so that someday when we're old and tired, we can then go out and collect memorable experiences with the people that we love? What if it could be normal to check something major off your bucket list once or twice a year? What if it wasn't a letdown to get back from an amazing destination because the next adventure was already booked? Over a decade ago, an exclusive invite-only program called Dream Trips was created for the people who believe that spending money on experiences is just as, if not more important than spending money on material things, and don't want to wait until age 65 to have those experiences. This has been allowing people to experience the world in a way that has typically been out of reach for the average hardworking person. How does it work? It's simple. Once a member joins the club, they get access to bucket list experiences all around the world. And why are so many people joining the club? Well, because people want to travel, but they just don't have time to research the best places to go. They're not experts in knowing the best activities to do once they get there. And vacations are expensive. So Dream Trips takes all the hassle out by pre-packaging the best experiences from around the world, putting them in an easy-to-use member-only app where people can click and go for member-only exclusive prices. We're talking about things like seeing cheetahs on an African safari, riding camels in Dubai, walking the Great Wall of China, cruising the Caribbean, eating dinner on the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, touring the canals of Venice, Italy, scuba diving the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, building schools in Guatemala, or even something closer to home like hitting the Strip in Vegas. In the past, it's been as much as $1,000 to join the club. And really, what's it worth to be able to get access to these type of experiences? There's currently a promotion running where it's only $149 to become a member. And $100 of that immediately goes back to you, gets credited back to you to book your first dream trip. There's two different levels of membership to choose from, Gold and Platinum. Gold is only $57 a month and gives you access to over 5,000 of the Dream Trips experiences each year. Platinum is $100 a month and provides all of that, plus added perks including roadside assistance, telemedicine, platinum-only trips, and the ability to use more points on Dream Trips. With both membership levels, all of the dollars you spend to maintain your membership are credited back to you on your anniversary date in the form of points, with 1 point being equivalent to $1. In addition to that, if you refer 4 people that join the club at your same level of membership or above, as a thank you, they will waive your fees with 4 active customers. Now, if I were your friend watching this video and I told you that I needed to check out these trips and prices before I joined, let me tell you, I would be doing something that you and I both know I had never done before. I had never checked out what it cost to go to Australia or Dubai because I never realistically saw myself being able to go to those type of places. By the way, out of the over 40 dream trips I've personally been on, my favorite one was to a place called Hamilton Island, Australia, where we got to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef, and my wife got to finally hold a koala. This is a place that I never would have known existed if I hadn't scrolled down the app and clicked book it. Bottom line, if I hadn't joined this club, I probably would have never had experiences like that. Next, I'll talk about how people are using a Facebook page like this one to create more income. It's completely optional, but it's extremely compelling, especially for the hardworking person who wants to provide the best life for themselves and their families. People are searching for ways to increase the amount of money that comes into their bank account each month because what's currently coming in just isn't providing the lifestyle that they truly want. But at the same time, They don't want to commit to a second job because they are already working more hours than they would like. Ideally, they would like to work less so they could spend more time doing what they really want to do, but they don't know how to do that without sacrificing the level of income that they're currently making. One thing is for sure, more and more people are making significant money on social media. The hard part is determining which opportunities are legitimate. The hard part is determining which ones aren't going to require you to spend months learning something complicated on your own or having to build 10,000 followers first. And then, of course, which ones aren't going to cost a fortune to get up and running and then maintain. Here's why I like what we've got. Facebook groups. Because of recent enhancements to Facebook groups, you can now build a second stream of income from anywhere in the world using your smartphone without any of the above mentioned headaches. Why? Because other people have designed Facebook groups like the one that you're in right now that you get to utilize. We work to build a proven system and we teach you how to put that system to work for you. So why is this working? Because the average person now spends 2.5 hours a day on social media. For millennials, that number is closer to 5 hours a day. This is where everybody's attention is going to. It's not a matter of if we will spend time on social media. It's just a matter of, will we use that time to build a better life? Or will we be like most people and allow it to be the thing that distracts us from building a better life? I'm not saying this won't take time, hard work, and some learning, because it will. However, if you're like I was, you are willing to put in the time, effort, and energy if it's something that is worth doing. If you want to add the optional business system, it's an additional $25 a month, which gives you access to customer support and a back office website that tracks everything for you. But to me, that minimal monthly business expense opens up the door to two invaluable things that most jobs and businesses just can't. Residual income and leveraged income. Now I want to point out that there's another video in this group that breaks down exactly how you can make $320 in your first 8 weeks doing this. Don't get me wrong, making your money back is great. You should. But I wasn't interested in making $320 one time and stopping there. Let me start by asking you two questions that I'm so grateful that somebody asked me several years ago. First, does what you're currently doing pay you a monthly residual income for work that you did 1, 2, or even 10 years ago? And second, is your income completely dependent on how many hours you yourself put in? Or do you get to leverage the efforts of a team? If your answer to either or both of those questions is no, like it was for me prior to getting started in this idea, I would encourage you to do something that will allow you to answer yes to both of those questions. Otherwise, you'll never own your time. Now, I'm not a dumb individual, but I had never heard of residual income before. So let me explain how powerful it is in case you don't understand it like I didn't. Let's say that you wanted to make $500 a month without having to trade your time for it. Well, you could save up $207,000 in after-tax income, agree to give it to the bank for 5 years at a 2.75% interest rate. That would give you a monthly return of $500 in passive residual income. By the way, if you make $100,000 a year and you were disciplined enough to set aside 10% of your after-tax income, it would take you about 30 years to save up $207,000. How do you earn residual income here? You earn it from the monthly fees that customers pay for their Dream Trips membership. How do you get customers? We'll talk about that. Here's the second key, leveraged income. So if you as an individual work 40 hours a week for 50 weeks a year, that's 2,000 hours that goes into your job, business, or a project. If you say started a business like this, and over time you found 20 people who saw value in putting just 5 hours a week to build a secondary income using social media, and they put in those 5 hours a week over 50 weeks during the year, that's a collective 5,000 hours that you get paid on. That is like getting 2.5 years worth of work done with only 6 weeks of your personal effort. So with our system, you can benefit from what a team of people does. Is this a pyramid? No, this is network marketing. Now, if you're ignorant and uneducated about the power of this industry like I was, consider the fact that Warren Buffett has purchased 3 direct sales network marketing companies. Consider the fact that Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the #1 best-selling personal finance book of all time, wrote a book on network marketing called The Business of the 21st Century. See, traditionally, people have created success in this industry by standing up and doing 5 to 6 live presentations each week in different people's living rooms. It works, but not everybody wants to do that. But because of Facebook group platforms, now there's another path to success with a product that is fun. If I'm selling you on anything here, I'm selling you on our system. People ask, what would I be doing? Well, in your pockets of time, you would message your contacts that you'll be adding them to this Facebook group, then you would add them to the page and tag them in the information. If they have questions, you would put them in a private group chat with someone who can answer those questions. It is a very simple process. And I'm not even talking about the power of Facebook algorithms that make sure the people you add to the page continue to see new success stories and activity that is happening on the page without you having to get them to see it. People are literally building this business on their bathroom breaks. Now, I also asked myself, is this a product that I would be excited about bringing to my network? To me, the answer was excited. Why? Because I didn't have to convince my friends to want to go check items off their bucket list. They already wanted to. They just didn't know that it was realistic for them to be able to do it. All right. It's not about the $149 that you and I are concerned about. Not even the monthly fee, because on the membership side, all of that gets credited back to you anyways. It's much more about, can I confidently share this with my friends, family, and my network? Because I care much more about my reputation than I do the $149. See, this company has been around for 13 years and has done over $2.5 billion in revenue just in the last 4 years. It has been voted the #1 travel club in the world every year since 2012. And of course, not everybody makes money here. Have you ever spent money on something that you just didn't use? I have. And it wasn't because the thing wasn't of value. It's because humans are weird sometimes. I can promise you this. Not everyone is cut out to be in business for themselves, but if giving you and your family the best life possible is a top priority for you, and you're willing to give this some time to get off the ground, take a shot. If you're aware of a better plan to see the world, do that. If you know of a better way to build a passive income with the type of flexibility and system from your smartphone that we're talking about, do that instead. My guess, though, is that if you knew of a better way to build that life, you'd already be doing it. Listen, I know life is pretty good, but is pretty good what you signed up for? Whatever membership level you start with, gold or platinum, it's $149. You get to pick your level. Some people would suggest that you get started at the highest level, platinum, with the business. That's $125 a month. Plenty of people start at that level because it certainly has its perks. However, I would respectfully disagree with that suggestion to go with platinum. I would instead suggest going with gold unless you're already taking 2 or more vacations per year. Gold plus the business is just $82 a month instead of $125, and then you can always decide to upgrade in the future if you'd prefer. Here's my Jedi mind trick close to get you to say yes. Are you ready? I just want you to know that it's coming. If you like what you see, spend the $149 and get in. Then, if there's any point in time in the future that you don't want to be in anymore, get out. There's no contracts here. If you've got questions, don't be afraid to ask the person who tagged you in this video to have them connect you with someone who can answer those questions in a private group chat. If you've already got a solid plan in place to build the life that you want, and this isn't for you, just tell that to the person who invited you onto the page. It's no problem for them if you don't get started, because by the way, we've also got a system where people never have to run out of new people to add to this page. If you like what you see and you're in a position to get started, let your friend know so they can get you up and running. I want to be the first to say, welcome to the fun.